And what that does to us is we can't move forward on a decision because they've never made that type of a decision.
That was the point I was going to highlight, is that I have found in my experience that when things are good, people have a mindset. When things start going south, they don't know to quickly change their mindset and adapt their business. They want to continue to do business as they always have. And they take the position, it's my company, it's my money. I shouldn't have to make changes to it to meet the needs of the market, which are changing regularly. And those businessmen sometimes get themselves in trouble, which leads them to our door.
All right, guys, we're back for another podcast from Jacobs PC, Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. I have a very special guest today. We're known as business and bankruptcy attorneys, but you never saw the face behind the partner that runs the business, the bankruptcy and business department. And that'll be Robert Sasloff, partner at Jacobs PC in the in-court and out-of-court restructuring. Rob, say hello. What's going on?
Good morning. Hello, everybody out there. I'm glad to be here. I'm a new member to the firm. Only joined December of 23.
Nice.
I got to say, it's been a very interesting experience.
And we're going to talk about that experience. We're going to talk about. Here's what I want to talk about, and I want to be frank in our conversation today. We won't obviously mention names of clients and then temperaments and who they are, but let's talk about clients. Talk about their motivations. What motivates them to make decisions? And I want to talk about the thousandaires, the millionaires, and some of our billionaire clients. And, I'll let you pick which one you want to pick at. And
I'd like to talk about first what motivates them, because I think, especially as it relates to bankruptcy, oftentimes what motivates a client to go into bankruptcy is different than the clients when you're not in bankruptcy, when you're representing them in litigation, because they're concerned about different things. They're mostly concerned about the concept of, if they go into a bankruptcy, what does that do to their reputation?
Reputation is a big deal. And reputation is kind of like, you're either the cool kid in high school, and the cool kid in high school now kind of like has herpes and all the girls know about it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to sleep with the guy. And that's a problem. So tell me about reputation. Talk to me.
Well, since I've been here at Jacobs PC, I've seen the clientele change dramatically, and in a good way. We've gotten clients that seem to be more well-heeled, which changes the motivation from the small guy who just cares about putting food on his table to the bigger guy who's concerned, if he's got $8 billion worth of projects, what's it going to do if one of his companies is seen as a failure? What's it going to do to his reputation if he's the principal of that failure? And what is a bankruptcy going to mean to him when he has to meet with the peers that are in his industry?
Yeah, but you know what? Decision making, when you're a billionaire, is different when decisions have to be made when you're stretched thin. And I want to define what stretched thin really means. Stretched thin means that you're a billionaire on paper, essentially, okay? You own Fifth Avenue, you own Madison Avenue. I mean, we're talking about blocks, 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue, and you're developing thousands of units, whether it be residential, commercial, but you can't afford a cup of coffee.
Well, that goes also to the definition of what bankrupt is.
What's the definition of bankruptcy?
For bankruptcy purposes, the definition of bankrupt is not having enough money to pay your bills as they come due. It doesn't mean you don't have money, but it just means that if something's due today, you don't have liquidity, or things are being stretched. We have clients who had contracts with third parties who have slowed down the payments, so they've got money coming in. They own lots of stuff. They just don't have what they need on a given day to pay a bill.
So let's talk about what bankrupt actually means. You touched on it, right? Can't pay your debts as they come due. But sometimes you have cash flow issues. That's why credit lines exist. But maybe what you're trying to say is, and we'll use a barometer for it, when you're in a down cycle or a recession, a bear market they call it, you have to be, in order for it to be a bear market, the company has to not pay their debts as they come due for at least 2 quarters, right? So if you're not paying it for a quarter, that's okay. You're veering into second quarter, still can't afford it. Third quarter comes around, you still can't afford it. I mean, at that point, you can't, in fact, pay your debts as they come due because in 2 quarters, a lot can change. You have service contracts, people you're taking care of. So,
and I find a problem with a lot of people, especially well-heeled people, is not knowing when to come to consult with a firm like ours that does commercial litigation, bankruptcy, inside or outside of bankruptcy. 3 quarters down the road can be sometimes too late, but sometimes it can be on time. I mean, I see the greatest success in being able to do bankruptcy cases and get out of chapter are for clients who have been proactive at looking at their inability to pay their bills as they come.
yeah, but
due.
who the hell pays attention to that? You have day in and the day out that you have to worry about. Nobody wants to think about being bankrupt.
Well, especially the big guys. That's the problem, I think.
I mean, let me tell you something about the big guys, okay? And we represent a lot of the big guys. And yeah, I'm upset. I'll tell you that much. I'm upset because these people, men and women, small businesses and big businesses and conglomerates, how can I explain it? When everything is good and they have a boatload of money, nobody looks at the accountant.
Correct.
But when things are bad, something happens in their decision-making calculus. Their decision maker, I just want to finish. Let me finish.
Sure.
Their decision maker doesn't solve for when they're just rich on paper. And what that does to them and what that does to us is we can't move forward on a decision because they've never made that type of a decision.
That was the point I was going to highlight, is that I have found in my experience that when things are good, people have a mindset. When things start going south, they don't know to quickly change their mindset and adapt their business. They want to continue to do business as they always have. And they take the position, it's my company, it's my money. I shouldn't have to make changes to it to meet the needs of the market, which are changing regularly. And those businessmen sometimes get themselves in trouble, which leads them to our door.
Yeah, but even with our door there and they open it, they still want to tell us what the fuck to do.
Yes, which is where our job is, and which I can say that I've been pleasantly surprised that coming to Jacobs PC, having worked with an experienced attorney before, coming here is that we are not afraid, the people who lead this firm and the firm itself, not afraid to tell the clients what we think they need to be doing and how to adapt. And they've got to listen to us if they want to be able to continue their wealth, to continue their success, and to find a way to minimize the damage that one failed business may have on what would otherwise be their business in full, such as if they lose one project, it doesn't bring down the rest of their business.
But that's what they want to do. They want to go down with the ship.